Just a second. See if anybody actually comes on. I've not been active for a while. So I'm basically just jumping on here. Maybe talk about a couple of things I want to do with the channel. Probably going to start uploading here again. Probably BitChute or Odyssey. Whichever one doesn't have the currency stuff. I can't remember. I don't like that system. So I got an account with both of them too. So I can't remember which one's which. I feel like it's BitChute. I feel like Odyssey has, or is it BitChute? Like Bitcoin has the. Either way, I will start doing that. Just want to kind of jump on here. Let you know I'm going to actually try to start doing videos again. Maybe even live, like once a week. Once I start figuring out, topics, start diving into some stuff again. Maybe if I start getting people watching again, say I'm active again, start answering questions live if I can, stuff like that. Well, just a couple things here. Just give my opinion on some things that's going on since I haven't been on here in a long time. I feel like I preach to the choir when I'm speaking to you guys, but who knows? Maybe there's somebody new that see this. So I guess first thing I see a lot going on is this battle between Rand Paul and Fauci. It's the good versus the evil. when in reality, they're just both evil. All right. It's that fake left right paradigm. Rand Paul is for, he's the good guy. He's for all the Trump people. And Fauci, he's on the left and he's pushing all the mandates and he's all for that. If anybody hasn't noticed, Rand Paul is piggybacking right on the backs of the pharmaceutical companies as well. He is not going to say anything bad about pharmaceutical companies. He is a doctor, physician, or whatever himself. He is part of the system. He basically sits there and says he agrees with the jabs, just claims they're not working anymore. And he actually, in one video, like I say, when I start putting videos together again, I'm going to start putting some of this out there, and who knows, it may get me kicked off of YouTube, which is why I'll also link out my BitChute and Odyssey. I am called This Fallen Place over there. So you stop seeing me here, that's where I'll be. But that being said, he actually goes as far as to say, they got this other jab waiting to come out. Why not just bring it out? That's the conspiracy, that they're holding back this other jab. They can help with these new variants, and instead of, hey, why do we have to even be forced into the jabs at all? Going that route with this conversation. No, it's just about bringing out other jabs and for these new variations. So both of them are working for Big Pharma, for the system. They're both pushing the same thing, but making it seem like they're on opposite teams. It's such manipulation on a high scale. It really is. It's the divide and conquer to like genius level, really. Another thing, with this new variant, I've seen this meme. It was talking about like Australia's already jumping all over it. They're, it's here. We got to worry about this. They're already lockdowns and camps and everything like that. That's not enough. We got to, they got to do more. I mean, they're in total tyrannical overtake there. I mean, if there's any coming back for them, that'd be something. But that's all coming. It's coming everywhere. If the only reason we're not there is because of our Second Amendment, period. If we lost that, we'd be in the same situation as these other countries right now. And that's why they're picking this apart slowly, little by little, state by state, going after our rights little by little, blocking, that's why New York's getting away with what they're doing. Everybody's just like, oh, that's just New York. That's not happening here, or it's just not as bad here. It's the whole just boil the frog slowly deal. And the more people just act like nothing's going on, as long as we just do this and it'll get better as long as people have that attitude. We're going down with the shit. But the fact that the variant's even there is, yeah, it's totally ridiculous. Like, they're not letting anybody in or out of that country. I mean, especially I believe the unvaccinated are total, like, I mean, they might as well be prisoners there. And whoops, I said that word. I can't say the B word. But the fact that they have it's ridiculous. Like, where'd it come from? If you can't come or go, I'm just throwing this out there. They're all being jabbed, and all of a sudden, all these places that supposedly this variants are coming from just happen to be all these places that are the highest jabbed rates. Yeah, what do you think is going to happen when you're getting all these boosters and everything else, and you're creating the cesspool for mutations? I mean, that's what you're doing. I mean, it's not the non-jab people creating this. If the variants, my cat just totally missed the table. But like I said, that's even if it's even real. Like I said, I mean, some of this could be fear mongering. I mean, there's obviously a real virus out there. I mean, I got it. Like, I don't know if I've been on YouTube some set, but I actually did get sick with the C word virus. My whole family did, actually. But I will say, I think that came from where my wife works. Everybody, like, we was fine for almost 2 years, and then all of a sudden people started getting jabs. She's worked at a company where a lot of people do that, regardless whether it's being forced to, because they had ties to pharmaceutical companies. And even though they're all forced to wear their facial diapers, still got it. But not as bad as I did. Like, I think she was maybe sick for like 3 or 4 days. Not even that bad. Like a flu, but not even like terrible. I, on the other hand, probably as healthy as you could be, got ripped for like 2 weeks. Like, it destroyed me. Like, I mean, I was pretty sick. My stomach pains, flus, like symptoms, sweating every day, couldn't eat, lost like 20 pounds. Yeah, it took me like a month to recover from it. So it's legit. I mean, it's not normal. I'll tell you that. I do not think for one bit anything about that was natural. Like, that, there's something to that stuff. Like, they're lying left and right, but I guarantee, I mean, in fact, do I think it was like from a lab? Yeah. Do I think it accidentally got out? No. I don't think there's an accident about it. But yeah, nothing I did, vitamins, nothing helped. I mean, it's just like you had to just get over it. But once I did, I was fine. So, except I don't know if I got all my taste and smell back 100%. I did lose my taste and smell, but I think I still feel like there's spices and stuff, and I can't taste. But other than that, I'm all good. Got back to lifting. 3 months later, I'm kind of just now got back to lifting the weights I was before I got sick. So took like 3 months, but I'm back. Let me know. I see some. Looks like maybe I don't know if that's is it me watching, somebody else watching, if somebody's there. I don't know if you can tap. I don't know if you can put some in the chats, say hi, let them know they're there. If you got questions while I'm on here, whoever's watching, I don't know who's watching. I would go and I could try to answer some, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at on that stuff. I say I at first was I kind of sketchy about whether that C stuff was real. Yeah, but not, definitely real. Something's going around, but it's definitely been manipulated, and I feel like they got something out there too, but it's really less. No, I don't think it's spreading less. I don't. I think it's just not as bad as they're saying. Like it's not as. I don't even know why I can get away with saying you're not going to go as like they're claiming. They definitely manipulated the numbers. I think older people or people that's not very healthy would have a hell of a reckoning with this stuff. I mean, no doubt after having it, if I was in somebody in my 70s or 80s and not healthy and already kind of had comorbidities, then I probably would have be all right, like legit. Like I said, I was sick for 2 weeks, like real sick. And I could get around. I was cold sweats, stomach hurt so bad I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I mean, it was just miserable. It wasn't like I was like dying, but it felt like it. It felt horrible. It was just plain misery for 2 weeks. It wasn't nothing I couldn't like handle, but I didn't like handling it. After 2 weeks. You're like, is this ever going to end? That's kind of where it is mentally like hard because you're like each day you're like, okay, today's the day I'm going to feel better, and you don't. So that sucked. But yeah, it's definitely being overblown. About like, you're talking like not even 1% of the people that get it. Well, I think it's when you combine all the percentages, like talking like the older people, core mobilities. I mean, you're not even at like not even 1% of the death rate. So, I mean, that's just facts. They blew that stuff up like crazy, and that's where we're at. But is it bad? Yeah, I mean, even if you don't keel over, it sucks. But I'm trying to like not say too much before I just boom. First time I come back to YouTube, I get banned. So there's definitely more I want to say. I'm just trying to keep it tame. But yeah, and then there's people out there, and I said, me and my dad were just talking about this, and I don't know. We need to talk after here. He's going to talk here in a bit. He's at work, but there's a lot of people out there thinking that this is the mark of the beast. I'm 100% in my mind that no. All right. And there's a lot of reasons why I think that it doesn't line up. To me, it doesn't line up. And I think if you take a real look at what the Bible says, there's things that match, but I think that's being deliberately done. I really think these people they're spiritually know exactly what they're doing. I mean, these higher ups are definitely evil. I think at the very top, they are dealing with straight up demonic dealing with the demonic, the demons. I mean, I think firsthand, rather like being led by these demonic forces, like, or just as if a Christian was led by the Holy Spirit, or if they're like literally dealing with demons. But either way, I think this has been deliberately made to look like the Mark of the Beast, a counterfeit of it, and that's kind of why that's where I lean, and that's just because if there's nothing not enough lines up. They're saying, okay, you can't buy or sell with it. Yeah, but that's only some people. I'm having no problem going out and buying stuff right now. Okay, well, what if it gets that bad? Well, it hasn't. And the way, I mean, at least the way the Bible makes it sound is like that all that happens at once. Like, I mean, it's like you take this and you can't go buy and sell here. And then on top of that, if you refuse it, it sounds like you'd be put to death. So it's like refusing that is refusing the beast, because you know exactly, according to the Bible, way I read anyway, it knows exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it, to worship the beast. Yeah, this is definitely part of it. This is conditioning people to accept it for sure. Like I said, I don't know where you stand, but I mean, if you've been with my channel for a long time, you know that I do believe in the pre-trib rapture. I do not believe that the body of Christ is going through that, so I don't even think we can be there to take it. But this could, I think, mess with some people's faith in that by what's going on. Like, well, make you rethink some things, but there's just too much that hasn't happened. I mean, the third temple, so people say, oh, well, it's there. It doesn't have to actually be a physical temple built. I think it does. Damascus gets destroyed before the tribulation. It's still there. I mean, supernatural things are happening during the tribulation, like that just aren't happening. Like he proclaims to be in the temple, proclaims to be himself God, and is doing wonders. None of this is going on. So, we're not in the tribulation. So we didn't miss the rapture. And no, I don't think this is Mark of the Beast, because the Mark of the Beast comes like in the middle of the tribulation. So there's just too much that doesn't line up for the fact that for this part of that system. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the people willing to take this are the same people who's going to be willing to take the mark. I mean, it's just showing that Antichrist spirit, I think, for sure. I mean, I just think it's when you do, there's people, whoever's there to take the mark. Like I say there's people because I don't think I'm going to be there, have to worry about it. If I even make it up to that time where the rapture happens and I'm not already gone, I don't know when that's going to happen, then I think I'll be out of here, so I don't have to worry about it. But that's kind of in a nutshell. Like I say, I plan on doing videos and doing like more into these topics, deeper. What is this crap? I don't even know. This dude's like gone. But anyway, got some troll in here. Anyway, all right, but yeah, I said, I don't know. Since you're watching Carfen, I have no idea how you say that. But I mean, if you had some topics that since you're watching, you'd like to hear or me discuss, I mean, if you got a question now, I could take it, or give me some ideas for what you'd like to see for was this channel moving forward. Like I said, I'm going to, and like I said, I've done videos on the pre-trib rapture in depth, especially with my dad. I did like 7 years ago, but I think I'm going to retouch on them because it's been 7 years. But if you go to my playlist, you can find videos talking about that in a lot more detail and why I believe that. I don't know if you believe the pre-trib rapture or not. A lot of people have really been led astray about that. Well, that's good. At least you're open-minded. That's a step in the right direction, because people already think they know it all and aren't even open to hearing other ideas and learning, I mean, you're kind of already lost right there. Yeah, like I've been absent for a while on YouTube, but that's just because things got so crazy and I got tired of being almost deleted. My channel almost got deleted. I got a couple strikes. Got to, you know how it is anymore. You can't say anything without being censored. So once it got that crazy, I just pretty much gave up. I felt like it just wasn't worth it anymore. But this is kind of more like for me too, getting on here and ranting about stuff kind of helps me get it off my chest. If somebody listens, cool. But yeah, like I said, that's just some things I believe. Pre-trib rapture. I believe in saved by faith alone, not by works. Hey, F9, hey, thanks, appreciate it, F19. I said I don't know if you just kicked in, but kind of gone over a couple things, talking about the fake left-right paradigm, the fake Rand Paul versus Fauci when they're both working for Big Pharma. Is the jab the mark of the beast? I don't think so. Kind of went over that. How did the variant get into Australia when they're in camps and locked down? And I think the jab is causing, if these variants are even real and just not fear mongering, I think it's the jab's causing a lot of these variants, creating different cesspools of crap in these people, and you're shedding it. Oh, well, that's awesome. What made you come to faith? I mean, just I know that's probably could be a long answer, but just curious because that's pretty neat. But yeah, definitely. There's a lot of stuff out there, and that's another thing. Yes, exactly. I say the spike protein, and then I believe I could not tell you how many people I've heard or even know, like through like just one person, like either through my dad, from his work, things like that, where people have taken it either within 48 hours have had a heart attack. I know people like just recently saying that after 6 months, just now getting clotting in the legs, having heart attacks. So the spike proteins don't ever stop making their little spikes in you. Once it's in you, it's in you. There's no getting it out. So, and I think that's by design. I do. That might get me banned right there, but I don't think there's anything quinky dink about what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I don't believe this was rushed and not tested. I bet you they know these people are not dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly how that thing's going to work inside your body. And they know if you take it and 6 months later down the road, you get clotting or have a heart attack or, can't walk anymore. They know they're not going to link it to that. It's been 6 months. That can't be that. Yeah. So, there's a lot going on, but I said, I just kind of want to let you know this I really wanted to come in and do more Christian based channel, but I also like talking about things going on in the world. And sometimes that stuff just don't mesh good. And it's just like some people that want to hear about the world, but don't want to hear about God. Yet it all goes together. So I'm like, what do I do? It's hard to put all that stuff in one channel, and like some people, which I'm just like, okay, if you don't like this talk about the biblical stuff, then don't watch the videos about the Bible stuff. I guess if you don't like hearing about the so-called conspiracies, then don't watch that video. Watch the Bible stuff. I don't know. I guess because I think it'd be too hard to run two channels. So. All right. Well, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, there's this, and that's another thing I'm going to talk about in here. There's channels on YouTube that I just would stay away from as a Christian that claim to be Christian, which are not biblical Christian at all. There's people that I would definitely say, hey, go listen to them, but I may not agree with everything they say, but you don't have to. I mean, we're all learning. I mean, the Bible's complicated. Um, Salvation's not complicated, and that's where I think people get messed up. When like God never, I don't think God ever said the Bible's easy to read or understand. A lot of it, I think you have to understand a lot about the Jews and their history and all that. And when you're dealing with the Old Testament, there's things that are very difficult to understand without studying and understanding the culture, understanding the times it was written. But salvation and how we are saved is simple. And that's what God says. He says salvation is simple. Everybody's like, well, I can't read that Bible. Never said anything about that. He just said salvation is simple. He went to the cross. He died for your sins. He rose again 3 days later. If you believe that in faith, then you're saved. That's being Christian. It's not, it says it's not about works. It's not saved by faith, not by works, no matter what, no man boast. And then everybody wants to add everything in the kitchen sink into that because they can't understand that almost all of the Old Testament leading all the way up into basically Paul was all about the Jews. So it gets very complicated if you try to mesh everything in and say, this is all for me. Then you're like, okay, if it's by grace, and what about the 10 Commandments? I got to follow the 10 Commandments because that's what all the Catholics say, and it will warp your mind into oblivion if you don't understand the dispensations and certain things were for certain times for certain people. It's the Bible. A lot of people say that understand the Bible said it's all for you to read, but it's not all to you. I think my kids they were all went and looked at Christmas lights.
I need this light off, Dad.
Huh.
I need the light off. I can't see.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, people act like that it's got to be blind faith. It's not. I did a lot of research and looked into a lot of things, to prove my faith. So I think they need to go to bed. But yeah, so it's not blind faith. It's good to look for proof for understanding. The Bible says to study to show thyself approved. Like it's not just saying throw your hands up, say I just believe. I don't know why. And somebody comes up to you and questions your faith, and why do you believe that? You're supposed to have an answer. So it's not just because God's, that's what the atheists like to say. They just say God said so. So that's not, no. It's like they don't understand that even the secular and non-secular, like people, archaeologists, all these scientists and stuff, not all of them are atheists, for one. And then two, there's hardly nobody that will claim that there's not proof for Jesus rising from the dead, or they will at least admit, even the atheists will admit that his followers believe that he rose from the dead. Like, no denying it. So, it's only a couple crazy atheists that are not even acknowledged, by even their community, that like they're historians that that was just, they all just were tripping and saw like on shrooms or something and saw the same thing, or it was all an illusion or something. Like there's only a couple of wackos out there that actually push that narrative. All the other ones, even including the atheist ones, will all say, yeah, there is outstanding proof, documented proof that Jesus rose from the dead, or at least was believed to have rose from the dead by his followers, so much so that they all were willing to die for that belief. So there's a lot out there, a lot to cover, and that's why it's so hard to make videos, because it's just like there's throwing so much worldly stuff at you, so much going on, so much division, so much divide and conquer. Every day is something new. It's chaos, and that's part of it. That's their order out of chaos. So if you don't understand the occult and the New World Order and all that, that's their motto. So they have to create the chaos, which they already have the solution for, and to bring in their solution and gain more control. So, but it's just happening so rapid every day. It's like people don't understand that the news, the media is not stop. Never was news. It never was. It was created for programming. It's called programming because it was meant to program you from the get-go. It was meant to feed you their agendas. It was meant to make you feel a certain way, to emotionally react a certain way. Is basically to make you their little pawns, to get you to move exactly how they wanted you to move. And that's what you see. You see them put their stuff out. You see the reaction of the people. You even see them tell them what they're supposed to do to react, and then people do it. It's mind control on a huge scale. I knew the one's a moron. The whole thing is no kidding. Like them combined is media control. So I didn't know that one. I knew the one was like the Omicron was moron. That's interesting though. Yes, that does not surprise me whatsoever at all. That's a new one though. You just taught me something. I didn't know. I didn't even look into that. Those two combined. They do that all the time though. I'm telling you, in a lot of these events, I don't know how much you're looking at that stuff, but going way back before the SH so-called school incident that you're not allowed to talk about, that was not fake at all. Somewhere along Hook, Sandy. But yeah, before that happened, they actually legalized propaganda in the media. In the NDA Act, actually legalized it, which it's not like they weren't doing it already, but now they just telling you we're doing it and nothing you can do about it. So they just made it legal. They made legal what they was already doing. So from that time forward, there was all kinds of mass shootings and lots of Second Amendment gun control going on, in which I'm sure the absolutely CIA had nothing to do with it. The higher bees had nothing to do with it at all. I'm sure it was all just people going crazy and having shootouts for no absolute reason with no motive. So, but yeah, there's like I said, nothing in the media is real. Even if some reason it's a real story, it's manipulated into a way in which pushes their agenda. So, and they will only talk about the stories that they can actually push their agenda with. So, that's media for you. But yeah, like I said, if you're interested in the biblical stuff, biblical topics, being new to being a Christian in the faith, that's awesome. If you got certain topics about that you're interested in or would like to hear about, I would definitely make videos on that. If you had, probably got a lot of questions if you're new to it, but feel free to drop some in the comments, and I would definitely get to it, making videos on it. 'Cause like I said, I need ideas. There's so much out there. My brain gets scrambled and I don't know what to talk about. So I just end up not making a video at all because I feel overwhelmed by once you've been awake, is I guess if you want to call it that, for so long to everything going on, it can really give you anxiety and just like feel like it's pointless to even talk about because it's happening regardless, which it is. I mean, we could act like we could stop it, but we can't stop. We can maybe be able to stop certain aspects of things going on if people were willing to stand up and do so, but you can't stop God's plan. So, it's like I don't know. God only knows His plan and when it's time. I don't know if we have any effect on when that is. I don't know if it's a set time. This is it. God already knows this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This, I guess He just allows it to happen. So I guess there's no like changing His time, but it's like as our actions expand, when things would have happened, well, things would have exceeded faster, but people actually rose up against the evil, and so now it's going to happen here. But who knows? I don't know. Only God knows. Like I said, and God's outside of time, so it's like it's happening whenever it happens, I guess. But that gets mind numbing, or not mind numbing, but that'll blow your mind. I guess try to think like that, being outside of time, space, matter. Our little brains explode if we think about that. All right, but I guess that's all I have. I say, unless you got any questions or was interested in any particular topic or thought, I'll give it a second. If not, I guess this is my first video back, and like I said, I'm probably going to deeper stuff, more conversation, and upload stuff onto like BitChute and Odyssey where I can talk a little more freely. And if I do so, I'll probably get on here and let you know, like, hey, upload, or go subscribe to my BitChute and Odyssey channels, which I am this fallen place, which I believe it's like this_fallen_place. So I think if you type it in just like that, you'll find it. I think I've maybe only uploaded like one video. Like I was getting ready to kind of start doing more, and then I got busy at work now, and I've switched jobs, and it's just I've been kind of getting all like dialed into this new job. I've only been there like just over a month and a half, maybe. So, and we got real busy there for a couple of weeks, but now I'm kind of like smoothing out, and hopefully I can concentrate on at least going live maybe once a week, or putting out a video, a good informational video once a week where I've done a lot of research and actually do videos again where I put screenshots up, video clips, put it all. That takes a lot of work. People that are on here doing videos all the time, that's like their job, because it really is a second job. I was into it early on, and when I had a lot more free time, and I would spend hours just like doing a short 20-30 minute video of just like editing and pulling clips and research, and it takes a lot of time. So I can see why people ask, to do Patreons and stuff like that. I mean, that it's like, oh, all you do is YouTube. But if you like hearing this type of information, and they're putting all that work into it to do the research that you might not have time to do or don't want to do, then, it's just a matter of, are those people putting out good information or real information? So, that's where you got to have discernment, and you might just have to do your own research, So me, I like to say, cheers. Yeah. Yeah. Let's say I'm on there. I'd say I'm going to probably focus on the one that does not do the currency, because there's one that you have to use actual currency, their currency, to even upload videos, and then you get currency for people watching. I think that one's BitChute, because I think it's like that's why they call it BitChute, like Bitcoin. I think so. I don't think Odyssey's the one that does that, but whatever one doesn't do that, that's the one I'm probably going to focus on, because I didn't like that system at all. It was just too complicated. So I didn't know if they thought that enough people, like if it became YouTube, that would become a next Bitcoin or something, but possibly. But I don't know. I didn't like the fact that you had to spend coin. You think it's Odyssey that does that? It could be. I'd say I might be wrong, but if it is, like, I probably won't do Odyssey. I don't know, unless I figure it out. I might try it, but then I just got to get enough people watching to collect enough currency to be able to even upload. So it's kind of weird. But okay, if you think of anything, or anybody watching thinks of anything, or like videos they would like to see on certain topics, put them in there. I will get to them. All right. Appreciate you hanging out. I just wanted to kind of let everybody know I was coming back and really try to dedicate more time to this, and doing some more research again, especially on the biblical side. So it was kind of cool to get on here and actually have a couple people on the chat list. So appreciate it. Thanks very much for hanging out, and I will catch you again.